vocal effects can transform your voice and take it to the next level. Today, I'm going to show you 7 of the best creative vocal effects that you can use in Logic Pro only using stock plugins. Vocal effects are like the seasoning in your favorite dish. You could just roast a chicken with a little salt and it'd probably taste okay, but it's the delicate balance of herbs and spices. It's the surprise taste of lemon zest or the unexpected kick of chili that really makes the dish sing. The power is in your hands, and it's time to start cooking up some tantalizing beats using vocal effects. Before hopping in, I'm excited to announce that for this video, I'm hosting a comment sweepstakes. After 3 weeks from the day I upload this video, I will randomly pick a comment from below and I will produce a full song for them. No strings attached, completely free. I will produce a song for you. All you have to do is answer this question down below: which effect in this video was the most helpful to you? To be qualified, you also have to be subscribed to this channel and like this video. But then if you get chosen, I'll work with you on a song completely for free. All of that out of the way, let's get into the 7 vocal effects that are gonna change your sound for the better. Let's hop into the first one, which is reverb and delay. You can imagine reverb and delay as if you're shouting in the Grand Canyon, hearing the echoes bounce off the walls, hearing the reverberation of the soundscape around you. When we're using reverb and delay, I like to think of my vocalist as putting them into a certain space. Do I picture my vocalist singing this song in front of a stadium? Do I picture them singing it in a church? Or maybe in a small studio? All of those reverbs are gonna sound vastly different, but I encourage you to experiment to try different ones. A common way that I use reverbs and delay is by busing them to my voice. As you can see here on bus 10, I already have one reverb set up. I'm gonna set up another one. Let's go bus 18. And that way I can combine multiple reverbs. So I can have one, like the Grand Canyon. I can have one. On bus 18, I'll go here. I'll go to reverb. I'll go to Space Designer. I'll do a medium preset, a hall, maybe a small hall. I'll go to wet 100% because we're bussing it, and bada bang. Now I can mix it in to taste with this knob here. Crashing hard, look out down below, but I can't stand when this. Take a listen to these chorus vocals with and without reverb just to understand how important of an effect it is. There's no delay, but same idea. Some marijuana, we can drink away our problems. We don't have to think. Let's take a listen with reverb now. Smoke some marijuana, we can drink away our problems. We don't have to think about them tonight if we don't wanna. Let's move on to vocal effect number 2. Vocal effect number 2 is a little bit more out there than just adding reverb or delay. It's the flanger. Imagine a jet plane swooping by from one side to the other. That's the sonic sensation of a flanger. It's a wild ride, and it's gonna transform your vocals for the better. To find the flanger in Logic, it's actually under modulation. You'll go to modulation, go here, find the flanger, click mono to stereo. This is a stereo effect, which means it's gonna swoop like that jet from left to right and back and so forth. When using a flanger on vocals, I like to put the mix down very slightly. With all of these effects, subtlety is your friend. Subtlety is gonna sound better most of the time rather than heavily processed voices. Listen to what it sounds like with a lot of flanger. Crashing hard, look out down below, but I can't stay. I'll dial it back. So much weight. Forgive me if you miss me, but I'm going away. It adds a little bit of depth and adds that extra character in each side of the speakers. A flanger is used by the best of the best professional studios on voices all the time. I tie it together with the sound of pop and modern EDM vocals. If you're liking the content so far, I make videos like this every week, and we'd love to have you a part of the community. Make sure to hit subscribe down below so you don't miss a beat. On to the next vocal effect, pitch correction. Pitch correction is like a butt. Everyone's got one. Well, everyone uses it. Maybe that's not the best metaphor. Whatever. Pitch correction can help change your vocal sound and be more on pitch. And Logic actually has a built-in pitch correction in the stock plugins. Whenever I use pitch correction, I want to make sure that's first in my chain. So let's go to this verse box again. We'll go to pitch. We'll go to pitch correction. And there we go. One of the most important things while using pitch correction is to make sure that our scale is set to the right scale, which is the scale of B flat major. Now that I know that, we can adjust the response time or the retune speed if you're using a different plugin to adjust to how fast this will change the pitch. This will give the auto-tune effect more or the auto-tune effect less. Let's listen. Look out down below, but overdoing it. Can't stand when there's so much weight. Forgive me if you miss me, but I'm going away. I think it sounds really good. It's hitting some of those notes a little bit cleaner than it was before. If you're working in rap or EDM or even pop, and a lot of auto-tune might be necessary. Totally up to you though. If it sounds good, it's good. On to the next vocal effect, which is the chorus. Chorus is similar to a flanger in the fact that it's going to modulate your sound to spread across the speaker spectrum. So let's go into here. We're going to change our flanger, modulation, go into chorus. Mono to stereo once again. Now take a listen. And the sun is low. The Logic Chorus is a really great chorus plugin. If you click this D mode here, it will actually get rid of everything in the middle and only put things on the left and right speaker. I use this a lot for background noises, not so much vocals, but if you stack vocals, this could be a cool effect. I'm crashing hard, look out down below. Now let's take a listen with just like 30%. I can't stand when there's so much weight. When you use a chorus, make sure to check that your mono signal isn't getting completely lost. When you spread out things in the stereo spectrum, sometimes when you put them back together in the middle, they're not exactly how you sound. So make sure you check both mono and stereo to make sure that this isn't affecting anything crazy. Just like before with the flanger, subtlety is the king here. I'm just putting a little bit on to add a little bit more oomph. Let's move on to the next one. The next vocal effect is distortion. Distortion is like taking a pristine photograph and crumpling it up. It's raw, it's gritty, it's got a punchy attitude that it's gonna add to your sound. Take a listen to what I mean. Now, just like before with reverb and delay, you can bust distortion, and I will do that sometimes. But for this example, I'm just going to put it on the track itself. I'm gonna click here, we're gonna go to distortion, and there are a couple of different effects that you can use for distortion in Logic. For this case, I'm gonna be using overdrive to give it a subtle distorted effect. Let's click stereo. We want to put our tone knob all the way up here. That would be a low pass filter. We just want it to go all the way to the top. Let's put it up a lot so that you can hear what it's doing, and we'll put our output down so that we're not blown away from our speakers. Let's take a listen to this. The sun is low, I'm crashing hard, look out down below, but I can't stand when there's so much weight. I'm actually going to put this before the chorus effect, just so we don't get any weird things happening below, but I can't stand when this. That's obviously way too much. It sounds kind of clipped. It sounds really distorted. It sounds crushed. I don't want it that much. Let's put a subtle distortion on and see what it sounds like. There's so much weight. Forgive me if you miss me, but I'm going away. I'd rather be crashing hard, look out down below, but sounding cool, sounding good. It's sounding really nice. It's opening up that high end ever so slightly and giving it that grittiness that I was talking about before. Let's move on to another really cool effect. This is another modulated effect you can use in Logic that's great for vocals and background vocals, especially, called Tremelo. Tremelo is the musical equivalent of a flickering candle. It's a rhythmic pulsation that adds suspense and movement to your sound. Once again, we can find Tremelo under the modulation tab and click on Tremelo. What I really like about Tremelo is for background vocals. The stock effect that it comes preloaded with will take your voice and move it from the left speaker to the right speaker, already synced up to the beat. You can change that syncing right here by going half, one measure, a quarter note, half note, up to you. You can also change the depth, how much it will move between the speakers. This full depth will mean left to right to left to right. I can adjust the transition by going smoothing, and then I can adjust the depth by how far it goes from left to right. So check this out. This same vocal is gonna pan from left to right. Let me make it really exaggerated so you can hear it. Forgive me if you miss me, but let me slow it down a bit. But I'm going away. Super cool effect that just knowing how to do can open up so many possibilities when it comes to the stereo spectrum and panning in your DAW. Let's move on to one of my personal favorite effects that's become a signature of my own personal sound, vocoding. Vocoding is like communicating with an alien from a distant planet. It merges with your voice, creating a robotic, futuristic sound. It's a direct flight from ordinary to extraterrestrial, and I love it. Logic actually has a stock vocoder. I will note I don't use the stock vocoder in Logic very often. I don't think it's very great. But there are a couple presets that you can use, and I'll show you them right now that sound decent. If you are serious about vocoding, I recommend Isotope's Vocal Synth 2. I use it on almost every one of my tracks, and it sounds money. Now, to access the vocoder, we're actually going to need to create a separate track from our software instruments right here. New software instrument track. We'll click here. We're going to go to the Evoc 20PS. Now, When we first play this, nothing is gonna happen. In order to get this to play, we have to put the analysis input at the right audio. So in this case, where we're looking at VerseVox, let's make sure VerseVox is selected from audio. VerseVox right there. If we want to, we can put in MIDI to this as well. I'll take some from the chorus. Actually, I'll take some from here. I'm gonna lengthen them out. Now that we have our MIDI data, what's gonna happen is Logic's vocoder is gonna read the audio signal and put it through the actual chords that we played on the MIDI, as if we were playing them like that. There are a couple actually cool presets you can use. One of my favorite is Open Heaven, I believe.
So much weight. Forgive me if you miss me, but I'm going away.
I'm gonna use this gain to turn it up. It's a little bit quiet, so I'm just gonna add some gain.
Down below, I can't stay when there's so much weight.
Sounding super cool as is. And what's cool about this channel is we can add its own effects, its own EQ, compression, and so forth. Then we can mix it into taste with the rest of the track. All right, that will conclude the 7 vocal effects that come stock with Logic that I like using for my voices. Remember, 3 weeks after I upload, I will go through all of my comments, see who liked, see who subscribed, and then if you left a comment, you will be eligible to be chosen for a free full song music production. This can be in any genre you'd like to. I'm excited to see what comes of this sweepstakes. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.